All right, we are live. We're live. Hello, everyone. I'm here in my kitchen. I'm boring. I'm drinking water. I've got a bright yellow Serape. This is a Mexican style blanket. This is a sponsor, my yellow Serape blanket. And my glass of water. How is everyone? Hello to that one person. Hello to that second person. Hello to that third person. Everyone, just check in. Say hi. Just type HI, enter, or whatever. You can always just say your location and your favorite not too shabby. Hello, 3 people. All right, now we're down to 2 people. Somebody left. Somebody wasn't that interested in me, which I understand. I'm here in my kitchen. My hair's not looking that bad today. What do you think? Anyway, I'm wearing my San Antonio, New Mexico t-shirt. San Antonio. People see this shirt, and often if someone's from San Antonio, Texas, you know, they think it's their city. And I'm like, no. San Antonio, New Mexico. It's this little town of about 100 people, about 10 miles south of Socorro. I think there's one gas station. There's one gas station. It's right. There's one exit on Interstate 25. So anyway, hello, there's two people watching. Thank you for watching. It would be nice if you could comment so I don't feel so lonely. But so we got the yellow Serape. I bought this 2 weeks ago. I need space in my house to put this up. It's a big blanket, and I think it might go in my guest room. But I got issues with I have issues with decorating my guest room, which is kind of a boring topic as well. What can I say? I'm boring today. Another sponsor. So we got the yellow Serape. This video is brought to you by my yellow Serape blanket, my glass of water, and then, of course, my book, Under a Triumphant Sky, A Bike Across America Story. This is it's my memoir. It's my book that I wrote I got it published in 2015. There's my name. Just look me up on Amazon or just go onto Amazon and type Bike Across America. And usually you'll see my red cover. For a good while, I was on the first page. There's maybe about 15, 20 books people have written. And my book was like near the top. I don't know, I haven't checked in a while, but you check and it might be on the second page. Under a Triumphant Sky, A Bike Across America Story. So go check it out. It's my memoir. So you can get it in print version or Kindle version. All right. How's everyone doing? There's still 2 people watching my live stream. And I'm just going to chill for 15, 20 minutes. We'll see how long we go. And I'm in my kitchen. I'm in my kitchen. I don't know what to talk about. I made 2 not too shabbies today. I hiked. For those of you that are really into Colorado, a nice little hike that I recommend in the Salida, southern Chaffee County area is the Water Dog Lakes area. Water Dog Lakes. It's like close to the Monarch ski area. The trailhead is right off of Highway 50, maybe about a mile below the Monarch ski parking lot area. And anyway, here's my not too shabby about it. So here it is.
It's the Water Dog Lakes. Not too shabby.
It was so quiet. I was the only person there that I just felt like, you know what? let me just be reverent here. So I did that one. But then on the hike, there was a big rock and a bunch of small rocks on top of it. And I did not too shabby that. In this one, I come off like I'm angry. Here it is.
It's a bunch of small rocks on a big rock. Not too shabby.
And those rocks, there's a word. I didn't even see. I couldn't tell it was a word of some kind. I can't even tell what word it is, so anyway, there you go. Hey, Harper LARP. Hey, Harper LARP. I just started this live stream 6 minutes ago. I'm in Colorado. I'm in my kitchen. How are you? Yeah, Harper LARP. I want to say thank you. You said some very nice things to me in the reply section. I mean, and look, I do get a lot of like positive comments. Occasionally there's a negative or whatever. For the most part, the people who watch my videos, they're watching them because they like them. But you said some really nice things about, I just want to say thank you. Harper, I don't want to be too sappy or hokey, but thank you, Harper LARP. You just had your own live stream. Harper, where are you located? Are you European? Where are you located? I think you're British. Are you British? So, yeah, I'm a great guy. I guess I don't know about that, but I'm a guy who tries. I try. And I dare to show up fully. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know that I'm a great guy. But anyway. Yeah, Harper LARP. Okay, so if you're in England, right now, it's 5:45 in the afternoon here. So it's 12:45. It's beyond midnight. It's actually Thursday there. What time is it in London, England right now?
In London, England, it's 12:44 a.m.
I already knew that, but I just wanted to ask Siri just for the novelty. It's 12:45 in London. Yeah, I'm 7 hours behind you because I'm a mental health therapist and I have a few British clients. And of course, I love their accents. And so they're usually, they're 7 hours ahead of me. So, yeah, Harper LARP, first of all, you've been furloughed. Did you lose your job because of COVID-19? I hope you didn't lose your job. You've been staying up till 2 a.m. I'm actually drinking water because I hiked those water dog lakes and it just kicked my butt. I'm just getting older. And the elevation, I think the elevation at the lakes is about 11,000 feet. So I could kind of feel the elevation bothering me a little bit. I feel a little hotter. Water Dog Lakes, 11,390 feet. Here, I'll show you actually, I'll show it to you. Let's see here. Where's I can't. It's somewhere in there. I love maps. I'm so into maps. Anyway, I did this hike that was a good little workout that kicked my butt. Colorado always does that. So anyway, when you have that little bit of elevation sickness, it gives you a little bit of a headache. You feel a little hungover. And so I took some ibuprofen, painkiller pills, and I'm trying to hydrate again. Hey, Corna BC. Hey, Corna, you read my book? Thank you for reading my book. This is one of my I did a commercial a few minutes ago talking about my book, And thank you. I really appreciate it, Corna. Harper, so you still have your job. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Corna, do you live in British Columbia? All right, Corna. All right, I guess it's just, you got to, I don't want to say stroke my ego. Well, what was what was your favorite part of the book? What was one story that got to you? Anyway, you're welcome to just tell me a little bit about what you thought of the book. And it's all right. Like, it's funny because when my book first came out in 2015, late, it was like December 2014, a whole bunch of my friends, family read my book. I actually made a little bit of money. And everybody was writing reviews, and a lot of them were allies. There were people who knew me, and I didn't, for the most part, I didn't encourage people to write reviews. Maybe I did once or twice if somebody was raving. But anyway, so there was all these positive reviews. But now that my book's been out for 5 years, it's funny because now the reviews, they're more honest because they're strangers, people all over the world, and they're just honest about, they have no skin in the game, which is the way it should be. So, and I still get a lot of positive reviews, but there's some more negatives, and that's fine. I totally get it. So, anyway, yeah, you know what, Harper LARP, our country. Anyway, America, we're just not dealing with the pandemic very well. We don't have any national leadership. There's a large segment of our population that believes in conspiracy theories. There's not a lot of unity. There's just people who won't wear masks no matter what. And we're totally screwing it up. And we're not doing enough testing. It's such a shame. I'll just leave it at that. And there's a lot of incompetence on a national level. I'll just leave it at that. So, but anyway, we're just, I wear my mask and I pretty much avoid crowds, stores. I hardly go into any public places at all. I buy my groceries on Walmart pickup, where you order online and then you drive to the Walmart, you call them and you open your trunk and they just put everything in. So, and that's it. You don't sign anything. You just pay online, and they've never messed up my order. So, and then I don't go into convenience stores, coffee shops. I'm not eating out. Occasionally I eat out, but I'll do a drive-through kind of a thing. Put my mask on. They're wearing a mask. So, but that's about it. So anyway, yeah, the COVID-19. Yeah, there's this crazy. I'm just done. There's so many things going wrong in our country, but the anti-maskers, I just have no tolerance for people with their BS about stupid conspiracy theories, or, saying it's their right not to wear a mask, which is ridiculous. So selfish. Don't even get me going on that. Don't get me going on that. It's not about you. It's about other people. Stop being such a selfish ass. Wear a mask. You won't die from wearing a mask. It's a common courtesy. Okay. Let's change the subject. All right, Corna. So, Corna, you read my Bike Across America book. Yeah, the small towns. You know what, Corna? That might be the best part about biking across America. It's kind of like going into small towns and, especially once you get into the middle part of the country and people are blown away. If you tell them, hey, I biked, it took me 3 weeks to get here. I started in California. I'm in some Texas town, something like that. It's neat to talk to people. And I remember going into convenience stores. I was in Louisiana And there's just maybe a young adult, 20 years old. You can tell it's somebody who's really bored, who, maybe hasn't traveled much, or that's what they told me. And I tell them I biked across America, and they're just blown away. You know what I mean? And then, like, in the middle part of the country, people don't bike as much, or they don't exercise as much. It's the truth, in general. And people would just be blown away. Or, you go into some little restaurant, tell the waitress, yeah, I'm riding through. And it's cool. It's fun to have those kind of conversations. The other times, it was kind of fun to just not say anything and to see how people would treat me, So, yeah, Harper. Hey, Harper. By the way, I could bike across England in a day or two. Harper, where do you live in England? What city are you in? Yes, Corna, I've done it 3 times. My book was my first time, and I did it in 2008. Then my second trip was in 2011. And here, I have my bike journal with all photos from that trip, and I'm going to put it in the live chat section. 2011 trip. So there it is. Okay, so there's the link to my 2011 trip. Then I was fortunate to go a third time across America in 2017. And I called that trip the Bike Ride for Empathy. I wanted to make a stand for empathy. And I'm typing that journal. There you go, bicycletrip.net. So for people watching, you can see in the live chat. You can go check out my 2011 trip, my 2017 trip. So all right, Harper Lap, you live in Swindon. I'm assuming England. Let me see here. I'm gonna look it up. Swindon, England, 20 miles west of Oxford. Let's see. Yeah, all right. So you're kind of like west of London. You're in that whole southern part of the UK. Swindon. There it is. You're actually kind of like southwest of Oxford, by the way, according to my phone. There's Swindon. See it? I got to get to the UK, man. All right, Corna. You ask an excellent question. Have I thought about writing another book? What are the pros and cons of writing your first book? I'll be honest with you. I would love to write a second book. I can honestly say I don't know what to write about. With this first book, after my first trip, which happened in late winter, let's see, I finished in March it was late. It's winter. It was before March 21st. Late winter of 2008. This book was like my dream to become an author. And it was like, to use the analogy, it was like something I had to give birth to. I could not get my mind off of writing this book. It took me 6 years. I remember it was May 2008. I think it was Memorial Day weekend. I started writing, and I was like, I'm going to write this book. I didn't finish until late 2014. It took me 6.5 years. I finally got it published in December. It was so much work. It was my first book. There's so much to say. Anyway, I know if I wrote a second book, I now know how to write I know how to do it, and I know how to cut corners. I would definitely write it faster and quicker. I'm pretty confident about that. But I'll be honest with you, I don't have that fire in my belly yet about telling a second story, writing a book. It's got to be something. To write a book, I just feel like, for me personally, it has to be like something where I can't, it just grips me where, there's no other option but to tell the story. And I've known people that like wrote one book and they got a little bit of like a high from the accolades you get or that kind of thing. And then they wrote a second book and a third book, and and their second and third book maybe wasn't as good as their first book. And it kind of felt like they were just trying to build a library of books. And I don't want to be like that. I'm only going to write a book. I'll be honest with you. If God tells me, if God makes it clear that there's a story to tell, then I will do it. But he's kind of has to show me. And I know I'm putting that on God. And I know that's a little religious talk that, but that's just where I'm at. So anyway, but that's a great topic. Thank you for asking that. Hello, Raphael. Hello. Yeah, Harper Lock, go check out my journals. Everybody watching, go check out my journals. It's in the live chat. I just shared the link a few minutes ago. So, Raphael, my book is about my first Bike Across America trip. It's on Amazon. Under a Triumphant Sky, a Bike Across America story. Just go on Amazon and type Bike Across America. Usually my book is in the top 10, the first page, or you can just look up my name, Steve Garufi, Bike Across America. All right. I should just put an Amazon link. Maybe I'll do that. So, Corna, you ask a good question. Do I think I'll ever ride across America again? And would I do a northerly route? Corna, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to go again. I actually attempted a fourth trip in early 2019. It was another I started in Southern California. Unfortunately, I quit after 2 days. I went 90 miles it was actually 2.5 days. And psychologically, there were just some issues where my head wasn't in the right place, and I quit in Beaumont, California. So, but I actually was planning to work my way a little bit more north to the middle part of the country, and I was going to bike to the White House in Washington, D.C., which is definitely like middle Atlantic, upper middle Atlantic or somewhere. And then I was going to finish in Delaware, and that trip. So if I do one, it would probably be that route. The problem with the northern route, like something from Seattle to Boston, Seattle to New York, it's a much longer trip. And then you can really only do the trip in the summer. And I don't know that I want to be spending my summer months in North Dakota, Wisconsin, these awful northern, states, Ohio. Who wants to bike through, Minnesota? No offense. I'm spoiled. I live in Colorado where we have the best scenery. There's mountains. Minnesota probably isn't that bad, but like you got to go across the Dakotas. Montana, I'm sure, is pretty, but it's just long, and the whole eastern part of it is just plains. It's like Kansas. So, Corna, did you answer my question? Do you live in British Columbia? So, by the way, for everyone checking in, everyone watching, if you don't know what to say, you can simply type hi and hit enter, or type, just tell me your location and your favorite Not Too Shabby video. In fact, let me just play a Not Too Shabby. Let me just see, I don't know. Here's my friend Arthur has a Bob Ross calendar in his home. I was wearing a mask and keeping my distance. And here's the Not Too Shabby. It's a Bob Ross calendar.
It's a Bob Ross calendar. Not too shabby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Harper, the Minnesotans. I don't know how many Minnesotan I don't know how many Minnesota followers I have. The truth, though, is the Minnesota followers, they subscribe to me because they want to see Colorado, mountains, and Western scenery, Arizona. I get down there in the winter. So I think I don't think I'm going to lose any subscribers, but hey, I want to show you something. Do you see those 3 prints? They're 11 by 17. I want to show you them. Get some light in here. Get some light in here. There they are. I just put these up. Now I have written a book about biking across America right here. And from 2015 to 2017, for roughly about 2.5 years, I did about 30 to 35 presentations at libraries where I sold my book. You know, you could buy a signed copy of my book. But for many of them, I had a slideshow and I told stories about biking across America, funny stories, scary stories, inspiring stories. And it was kind of a Q&A. Sometimes I'd have, on average, maybe 10 or 15 people at these library talks. There was the most I ever had was in Littleton, at the Littleton Library. Littleton? Yeah, it was in their the old downtown area of Littleton. I think it was 66 or 67 people. And that was the biggest crowd. Anyway, for each of these, so for these library events, they would make, you know, like posters, and they put it all over the library and they promote it. So here's one. This is one of my favorite ones where Fort Smith, Arkansas, I did a presentation there. And, you know, it says, join cyclist Steve Garuffi as he shares his experiences biking across the country. Steve's ridden his bicycle, blah, 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 blah. You know, for this one, it says I only did it twice. But anyway, so there's a picture of me. It was always, I got to tell you, it was always amazing to walk into a library, whatever, you know, 45 minutes to an hour before the presentation, get things set up, and to see all these posters in the library saying, Steve Garuffi, here's one, Bike Across America with Steve Garuffi, Thursday, blah, 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 meet Steve Garuffi, you know. Here's one, the Berthoud, Colorado Library, which is in kind of north of Denver. It's kind of near Longmont. They took my cover and they made it, you know, this is the advertisement. And the Berthoud, Colorado presentation was really enjoyable. And the thing, I mean, it's a really creative. I love the cover. And then it says right there, you see what it says? It says live boldly. I love that so much. So anyway, so I've got like 20, 25 of these. And I don't know. I just put 3 of them up right here. So I got to get a frame for this one. So, but anyway, that's just like, so for me, I don't know. It's like, anyway, just some fun, just little reminders of the fun times I had. So thanks for, appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who listened to me. Yeah, Harper LARP, isn't it cool? It's kind of fun, man. I have more prints, but I don't want to be like a Trump egomaniac where I need tons of praise and my ego being stroked. I could put them all over my house, but like I just want to honor that time in my life where I was speaking at all these libraries. And those are just some of my favorite ones right there, those 3. So, you know, but really though, like it was my dream to write a book. I want to say this. Let me say this. All right. Harper LARP and Corna, you're the two main people. It says there's 5 people watching. So I just want to be clear. If you've ever dreamed about writing a book, I want to encourage you. It's hard work. It's really hard to write a good book. Okay. But let me say this. I always dreamed about being an author. I remember in my early 20s, mid 20s, I was reading so much. I loved reading. I read books about American history, classics. I was reading a lot of political books. I was a political science major and for my bachelor's. But anyway, I was reading a ton of books. And I remember just thinking, man, I'd love to write a book. I could write it, but like there was a part of me that felt like, no, writing a book is for really smart people. It's for those other people that went to Harvard, people that have a journalism degree, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? I'm too ordinary to write a book, it's for those important people. And it wasn't until my late 30s that I got the gumption to say, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I believe I wrote a respectable book. It sells pretty well. I'm not making much money, but it's a respectable first book. I've gotten enough feedback that people have liked it. But the most important thing I want to say though is if you've ever wanted to write a book, I want to encourage you with that. And by the way, if you don't know how to write a book, how do you start? Yeah, I'm not a good enough writer, all that. I have good news for you. I have really good news for you. There's a 4-letter word that starts with the letter H that might change your life and put you over the top. The letter H, 4-letter word. It's called help. People can help you. Get people to help you, find a writing mentor. I had beta readers. I paid editors, these big, these editors in California. I had 3 editors that helped me. I had a few friends and acquaintances that were beta readers that gave me hard feedback. Anyway, get help. You can get people to help you to write the book of your dreams. So it's just a principle. You're not all on your own. So, hey, Sean. Hey, there's 7 people watching. Anyway, I just want to be clear. Maybe you can write your own book. And I kind of want to encourage people. I think everybody has a book that maybe they have in them, a story to tell. I don't know. So there you go. Okay, so we're going to take a brief intermission to go over my sponsors. The sponsors of this video. So this video has been brought to you by my bright yellow Serape blanket. I bought it a few weeks ago, and I'm not even sure where to put it up in my house. It's a long story, but it's sort of a bright yellow. It's got a little bit of an orange, mango-y, tango-y. It's a really sharp yellow. I love it. Don't you love that? Look at that green. I love that green. That is nice. A little bit of red, some purple right there. So my bright yellow Serape. This video has also been brought to you by my glass of water. It's just water. And then thirdly, my book, Under a Triumphant Sky, A Bike Across America story. Go check it out on Amazon. Just look up my name. Available in print and Kindle formats. Yeah. That's right, Harper LARP. You need to write a book. What kind of book would you write if you knew you couldn't fail? You know what they say, by the way? They say, I've seen this a few times. Write the book you've always wanted to read. Write the book you've always wanted to read. Really, think about that, you know? All right, Harper LARP, take care. It's 1:15 in the morning in the United Kingdom, so you got to get your sleep. It's 6:15 here, and there's like grayish cloud. It might rain. There are my cactuses. See the metal? I got a metal cactus. Those are metal cactuses. But anyway, it's kind of gray. Sometimes the sun comes in. Actually, that's north facing. So the sun really doesn't come in, but I like natural light. I have no lights on in my house right now. So take care, Harper LARP. Seriously, thank you. You have a friend in Colorado, USA. All right. Speaking of British things, I'm just going to play this. I have a not too shabby of a British thing. Here it is. Are you ready? This is I made this a long time ago. This is an early not too shabby.
It's a British police hat. Not too shabby.
There you go. There you go. So that's my ode to the British. Ode to the British? What does the word ode mean? I think I'm using that word correctly. Ode definition. It says, ode, a lyric poem in the form of an address to a particular subject, often elevated in style or manner, and written in varied or irregular meter. Okay, so it's not an ode to the British. It's a tribute to my British friends. Let's play that one more time. My British hat.
It's a British police hat. Not too shabby.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to wrap up here pretty soon. I've gone for 37 and a half minutes. And we'll see. We'll see how I'm just starting to think about wrapping up. Ooh, look how bright that yellow Serape is. Isn't that nice? Oh my gosh, look at that yellow Serape. That is amazing. Anyway, I'm going to show you. I did a hike. I'm going to show you. Now, I showed this video 30 minutes ago. I hiked up to this lake area. Here's the.
It's the Water Dog Lakes. Not too shabby.
It's a 90-second video. It's it's only a minute and 30 seconds, but let me show you the scenery. Let me show you the scenery right here. It was pretty.
Good afternoon from the Water Dog Lakes. I have this place all to myself. This is in Chaffee County. Nice little hike.
There's snow. I showed. There's a little patch of snow.
It's so quiet too. By the way, on the right, you see that white patch? That's snow up there. That is snow that has not gotten around to melting yet. Right here.
Anyway, I don't know if this is
August.
just a really pretty. I was all alone. I had the whole place to myself. Yeah. Hey, Annette. Annette, how are you? Annette, you have not been in a live stream for a long time. Now, I mean, I don't mean to sound like I say that because I'm so happy you're here. I know you weren't getting notifications, you know. So, yeah. All right, Annette, I don't know what the rock said. I don't know what the words. It was funny because the rocks were kind of up, and I just saw them scattered. It looked like they were just scattered. So I didn't know. But then when I held the camera way up looking down, I'm not sure what it says, but let's see if we can figure it out.
It's a bunch of small rocks on a big rock. Not too shabby.
I want to say that says SKNA. SKNA something.
It's a bunch of small rocks on a big rock. Not too shabby.
SKNAA. So anyway, I just had to do it not too shabby. So no, I didn't, Annette. No, I didn't put the rocks there. I was halfway up the trail and I was sucking air. I was gasping for air. I was tired. The elevation, the lack of oxygen. So I didn't have a lot of energy to for that. So Corna, what are you talking about? Page 102? Are you talking about something in my book? So anyway, I honestly, it's crazy. I don't read my book. For 6.5 years, I worked on my book. I read it a million times, proofreading it, tweaking it, editing it, proofing it again, that. And now that it's published, I can't read it. I can't even open it up. I can't read it because I'm too crazy, self-conscious, neurotic. What if I see a typo in there? What if I read a sentence and I think, oh man, that's poorly worded. I could have done better. So I can't even read my book. That's why I need people to read my book and sort of mirror back the stories to remind me about, oh, this is a funny story. This is a great scene. So yeah, Annette, there was some snow up there. Corna, I'm not opening my book. 102, I'll do this. 102, More Trouble. That is the More Trouble, More Triumph chapter. That's chapter 8, I believe, right? Chapter 8. Here we go. More Trouble, More Triumph. That's the name of the... That's sort of like one of the... probably maybe the biggest climactic part of the book where I wanted to quit. I had all these problems with a flat tire, my new bike. A lot of crazy things happened and I was ready to quit. And you see every chapter has a cute little bicycle at the top. That was my idea, by the way. And there's a quote here. All right. Every chapter has a quote. This one says, anyone can give up. It's the easiest thing to do, but to hold it together when everyone else would understand if you fell apart, that's true strength. So, for that book, for that time and this story, that quote means a lot to me. And favor cards. Yes. Oh, favor cards. Corna, BC, you're awesome. I remember that section where I was out there stranded in the desert. I couldn't fix the flat tire, or actually I kept fixing the flat tire and getting more flats, and I was going crazy. And then I got my chain mangled, and there was just a split moment where, you start thinking, well, who can I ask? And Phil, my good friend Phil in Phoenix, Arizona, he came out and picked me up. But there was like this, as a writer, I remember writing about it a year or two later, writing the story and infusing that idea about, because I do that a lot where I think, okay, who do I have? Who could I ask a favor for? And sometimes, I mean, you really shouldn't think about cards, but sometimes I think with this person, I have plenty of cards where I can ask for a favor. Maybe somebody else, don't ask too much, but maybe once in a while you can ask them. Or this type of person you can ask, but only if it's this type of problem. Or, you start overthinking about who can you ask or who you shouldn't ask. Anyway, the bottom line is I had Phil, and he came out and drove an hour and a half to pick me up. And actually in my book, yeah, Phil picked me up, and the next day we were at a Chipotle, and we got a great picture of us. We went to a Chipotle. I love Chipotle. So, and the day before I had bought, so my bike was stolen. By the way, you really need to read my book. This chapter 6 talks about how my bike was stolen in Phoenix, Arizona. And then the next day I bought a new bike, and that bike is now somewhere in my house, upstairs or something. It's upstairs. It better be upstairs. It's now like much older. And then, long story made short, there I am on the bike, biking merrily away. And good memories, really good memories. Remember Dave? Corna, do you remember my, I'm just straight up talking about my book, by the way. So Annette, it took me 6.5 years to write my book. I started Memorial Day weekend in 2008. I finally finished it, got it published December 2014. So yeah, Phil. In fact, Phil, I'm going to text him later, and I'm going to send him a link to this live stream, because Phil, he really helped me. He helped me on my second trip too. Phil's helped me a lot. And Phil has a special place in my heart. And I don't want to be too, I'm going to make sure Phil watches this, So anyway, great live stream we're having. I really should put some, all right, I'm really like in a net. Let's see. I like natural light, but I guess you can see my ugly face better now. So anyway, now what was I saying? Yeah. So, Corna, I don't have an audiobook. I'm not that sophisticated. I don't know how I would do an audiobook, or, I want to get it where I'm not blocking my 3 Bike Across America library talks, but this curtain is kind of boring. I put this up here to block my unsightly, my washing machine. And I got like crap in there. So like that would be the background right now. So I put this curtain. I'm so good at decorating, aren't I? But so Corna, yeah, motels and mileage. Chapter 10. It was funny because I pretty much tell the story. Yeah, I mean, the book is told in chronological order. That made sense to tell the story in chronological order. But there were definitely themes where I wanted to talk about motels, and I had to weave it in. I had to work it in. In that chapter 10, when I was in eastern Arizona, the western side of New Mexico, where it was like one interesting motel story after another. I remember there was some noisy people in Tatum, New Mexico. And I was like, I remember at the time I didn't want to confront them. I'm pretty good at confronting people now. That's by the way, that's really funny too. There's things I've written in here where I wrote it in 2008, and now in 2020, I'm different, and I think totally differently. There was a woman a couple of years ago. She quoted me in the book. She said, "Hey, you said this in your book, and I quote you." And I was like, you know what? I don't agree with myself anymore. So anyway, yeah. But then there were other motels, and some that were interesting, some that were kind of lonely and dingy. I kind of stayed at cheap motels. There was the one in Brownfield, Texas, where I dropped my wallet. I put everything in my helmet, which is kind of common. I still do it. It's a bad habit. My wallet, my phone, my camera, whatever else. I take it out of my pockets and I hold it in my helmet. My wallet fell out. That was at the end of chapter 10. And I was freaking out. I was like, where's my wallet? So for a few minutes, I was, petrified. I was alarmed. And, where's my wallet? And then it was just outside the entrance to the motel. It was sort of just on the pavement somewhere. I found it. I had all these like crazy, that first trip. I don't know. I miss those days. I was a different person in 2008 than I am now. So, hey, Jonathan, I've biked across America 3 times, 2008, 2011, and 2017. So, and by the way, go read my book, Under a Triumphant Sky, A Bike Across America Story. My author, it's my name, Steve Garufi. And it's on Amazon. Go look me up on Amazon. And if you forget everything, just type Bike Across America book in Amazon or Bike Across America. There's about 15, 20 books, and you'll see my red cover. Usually I'm on the front page. Maybe I'm on the second page. And go read it. Print form or Kindle. But I don't have an audiobook. So, yeah, that's right, Corna. That's right. Yeah. That's right, Corna. You darn well know that. So, yes, Sean, I'd say the Southwest is my favorite. The 4 corner states, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado. So, and then yes, Corna, green chili. I had green chili. I actually stopped at a Sonic. I had their breakfast toaster sandwich. I love their breakfast toaster sandwiches with bacon, egg, and cheese. And I got green chili, little pieces of green chili. It was so amazing. It's like an extra 75 cents or something. Green chili is where it's at. Let me see. Actually, in my laundry bag, I have a shirt that says, "Stay calm and eat green chili." Wait. Let me show you the shirt. I have it as a not too shabby here. Green chili, not too shabby. Where is it here? Here it is. I got it just a month or 2 ago. It's a new shirt in my wardrobe. It says, "Keep calm and eat green chili."
It's a keep calm and eat green chili t-shirt. Not too shabby.
There you go. Oh, how about green chili on a pizza? This one I did inside the restaurant. Here it is.
It's a pizza with green chili. Not too shabby.
I tried to be loud, but I didn't want to be insanely loud because there were people in the restaurant, and I definitely, and look, it says Tony's Mountain Pizza. That's in Silver Cliff. That's right. It's in my little town. I live in West Cliff. There's 2 little towns of about 600 people, and we're like mushed together. So it's essentially one town of 1,200 people. So green chili. How about a pork green chili taco? Look at this one.
It's a pork and green chili taco. Not too shabby.
Oh, good times, man. Good times. Good times. And now there's all these random ones. No vehicles or horses sign. Let's play this one. I like when the thumbnail has my mouth open like that. Here we go.
It's a sign prohibiting vehicles or horses. Not too shabby.
I got some of these are just flat out silly, but the silly ones can become some of the great ones. Like there's a coffee shop, Tumbleweed Coffee, and they have this scrubber. It's a scrubber for scrubbing the insides of coffee pots, and it's shaped like a question mark. Here it is.
It's a question mark scrubber tool. Not too shabby.
Annette, green chili. Hatch green chili is pretty good. It's pretty good. So, by the way, it's about to rain. There's just some thunder and lightning. And if it starts raining, it's going to get really exciting. And I'm going to maybe turn off the lights and show the rain. So we'll see what happens here. Very exciting. I want to see a downpour. As long as it doesn't knock out the power or something crazy like that. So Sean, you want me to play the cell tower? That was a good one, the cell tower one. That was just a few months ago. Here it is, the cell tower that looks like a pine tree. Here we go.
It's a cell tower that looks like a pine tree. Not too shabby.
That's not bad. That's a well-decorated palm tree. So, yeah. Yeah, Cornet, you actually did get a good library talk with all my yapping about the book, the posters, some of the stories. Cornet, you know the story I always tell? The Mississippi chapter, the first Mississippi chapter. Where is it here? By the way, to this day, I have this thing about smelling books. The Dose of the Mississippi Blues. I don't know if this is a good chapter title. The Dose of the Mississippi Blues. Chapter 14. Chapter 14. There's that story about where I had 4 flat tires in one day, and I kept persevering. And I started by biking over the bridge over the Mississippi River. And I wrote a lot about the Mississippi River and some of it's an icon. It's the most well-known river in America, I would guess. And how scary it was. And then that same day, I had 4 flat tires. And I kept persevering. I kept hanging in there. And the people I met a few people along the road and all these, and I remember I was 3 flat tires in, and I was in Itta-Bena, Mississippi. I'd gone about 60 miles, and I was in a gas station. I was in a convenience store, and I was in line with my drink, and there was this guy behind me that said, "Are you still biking?" And I turned around. I'm like, yeah. He said, "Hey, all day I've seen you. I drive a delivery truck." He was like, "I drive for work, and I've been up and down the highway. I kept seeing you on the highway. I kept passing you, and I would see you 5 miles down. Then 10 miles ahead, I'd see you. Later in the day, I saw you in this town." And he said, "I saw you, and I thought, man, this guy's hardcore." And I thanked him. I was like, I hugged him. And I said, like, that makes my day. And I was like, I hugged him and I said, I'm sorry, I'm all sweaty. You know, it was kind of funny. This was pre-pandemic, of course. So I'm hugging people. But like, it was so cool. And I got a picture of him. I don't think he's in my book, but, you know, so it was just like one of those most inspiring things where, you know, like you're biking and you're not thinking too much about cars or, well, you're thinking about cars, but you're not thinking about the people driving them. What do they think of me? And here's one guy who's driving a delivery truck, you know, all morning, afternoon, and he saw me and he, you know, he thought, wow, this guy's, you know, something. So, and it was a really hard day. And then I had a fourth flat tire. After he inspired me, I still had a fourth flat tire. And so that whole day is chapter 14 of my book. And I was biking through the Mississippi Delta. And I actually think I remember talking a little bit about the civil rights era, because that was a time in the early 60s when the civil rights movement and voting rights, people were protesting, trying to get their voting rights. People of color, systemic racism. It was very real, as it is very real now. And I remember going through towns like Greenville and Greenwood and some other towns where I just remembered it from as almost like a footnote from civil rights history. Like, oh, yes, something happened here that was pretty significant, and something happened here in 1963 and all that kind of stuff. So go read my book. Go read my book, everyone. You know? So, no, Greenville, Mississippi. There's a Greenville, South Carolina, and a Greenville, Mississippi. It's right on the Mississippi River. So, if you remember, there was a place called Quick Keys where I stopped to get a new tire. I bought a new tire, and I was sitting there. It was actually a key locksmith shop. And then just sort of like on the other side, there was like one guy that had a little bicycle shop operation. And I remember I was in there and funny stories. Just read the book. But that, you know, I remember that. So, oh my gosh, good memories. Books are good for getting a little air. By the way, you see my fan? I got a little ventilation. See my fan? By the way, see, like my yellow Serape, this is one of the sponsors of my live stream. All right. And it's in the thumbnail. But I also have an orange Serape. It's just a Mexican blanket. And you see the fan? So I got a little ventilation going on. But I did a not too shabby of that fan I think last summer. Let's see here. Come on, phone. My phone doesn't want to wake up. It's stuck on this. Come on, phone. There we go. I think I just call it fan. Here, this is a good one. This is an underrated not too shabby. All right, see that white fan? I also did a not too shabby of it. See it? All right, here it is. The white fan.
It's a fan in my face. Not too shabby!
Isn't that a great one? With the, you know, the fan effect. And I just put the fan right in my face.
It's a fan in my face. Not too shabby!
Oh yeah. That is a great, this needs to be in the underrated, not too shabby history list. Fan in my face. It's only been watched 181 times. 20 likes, 1 dislike. 3 comments. Comments say quality, beautiful, best one yet. Wow, best one yet. No kidding. Wow. Shabby haul. It's like the not too shabbies where there's like some kind of prop that makes it unique. You know, let's just play it one more time. And actually, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it at 25% speed so we can slow it down and eat it slowly like a fine steak that you don't want to rush through. So the 7-second Not Too Shabby, it'll be 28 seconds. Let's enjoy it and savor it. To everyone, here it is one more time. Fan in my face, Not Too Shabby. Here we go.
It's a fan in my face.
Here we go. That is Not Too Shabby excellence. I try to live my life with a lot of humility. It's a good way to live. You're not better than anyone else, that kind of thing. Like, that's important. Humility, modesty. But I got to tell you, some of my Not Too Shabbies, they confirm that I am the greatest Not Too Shabby video maker in history. I have no peer. I am the greatest. I'm like the Michael Jordan of Not Too Shabby videos. I'm the greatest. There's no question. I'm the best. So, all right, wait. Here's a classic, the toy snake. Let me play the classic. This is a classic, Not Too Shabby here. Wait. And I think it's playing at normal speed. We'll play this one at normal speed. The toy snake. This one is maybe one of everyone's favorites. If there was like a voting poll system, this would probably be voted the number one, I would guess.
It's a toy snake. Not too shabby!
Corna, I used to send out a lot of signed copies. I used to sign a lot of, I would mail them out. So there's a page somewhere. I've kind of lost. I don't promote my book as much, to be honest. So occasionally someone wants a signed copy. So, but yeah, I do. And now with COVID, I'm not going to the post office. The post office is bad. People at the post office where I live in Westcliff, there's always people online with no mask. So I just go late at night and pick up my mail. I don't mail anything. So, Corna, I still have about 10 or 12, 15 copies. I can buy more copies. Amazon, I can buy copies for pretty cheap. So, anyway. Yeah, man. So, by the way, I don't know what to talk about. Just drinking water. A couple of weeks ago, I called it coffee talk. I sipped on coffee. Last week, was it? I smoked one of those bad cigarillo cigars. Today, it's just water. I'm still loving this Serape. It's a Serape. Just love it. Love that purple. Look at that purple, man. That is pretty. So. I've gone for an hour and 9 minutes. So. I think I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you to everyone. All my love from my kitchen here. There's my kitchen. There's Rosita. I did a not too shabby of my ceramic face. I did that a few weeks ago. All my love from my kitchen, from my library talk posters, to my yellow Serape, to my Salida topographical map, to my book. Please read it or don't. It's okay. To my glass of water, to my hair, my messy hair. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm saying. To my San Antonio, New Mexico shirt. San Antonio, New Mexico. This is in my book. There's chapter. I talk about San Antonio, New Mexico in my book because I bike through there. Chapter Into the Land of Solitude. I think this is which Traveler in New Mexico? It's in there. Anyway, somewhere in my book. It's in chronological order. You'll find San Antonio, not too shabby. Yeah, Corna, thank you. Sean, thank you. Annette, thank you. Harper Larp, I think you're gone. You're gone. Thank you to everyone. I'm going to sign off. Thank you. I'm going to tap the phone, but not the phone, my laptop. Really, thank you for watching. Signing off from Westcliff, Colorado. Make it a great day. I really appreciate all of you for watching. Stay tuned for more Not Too Shabbies. I really appreciate you subscribing. And by the way, somewhere in my live stream, I talk about why you should write a book and that you should believe in yourself. And I hope my story inspires you about writing your own book. You have a story to tell. Your story matters. Go write your own book. And remember, there's people who can help you. Maybe even me, although my time's limited. But seriously, there's people out there that can help you write the book you've always dreamed about authoring. All right? So take care, everyone. Signing off from Colorado.